All right, guys, this has been something that has been very interesting to me from the beginning, how not just a whole society of people, but every person in the world became frozen as a stone in a matter of a flash. Literally a green flash. So what are the facts that we know about Dr. Stone? The first fact that we know is that there was a green light when the petrification started. The second fact that we know is that people are still alive even after being petrified. They're unable to move, but their brains are still functioning and they're still conscious. Fact number 3 is that you become petrified no matter where you are on the planet. Fourth fact, now this is where it starts to get really interesting. The fourth fact being that birds, specifically the swallows, were actually petrified the day before any of the humans were affected. Does this mean they could selectively take the species they wanted to petrify? Fact number 5, the only known cure to petrification is nitric acid so far, period. Fact number 6, awakening from the petrification heals all your injuries and illnesses, which means that the petrification has healing as either a side effect, or is it the main purpose, maybe, of petrification? Fact number 7, there were people in space who were not affected by the petrification. So there were people who were not affected, but they were just in space. So I guess as long as you're not on the planet, it doesn't affect you. And these people, obviously, if you've caught up to the anime, if you can recall, were Senku's dad, Byakuya Ishigami. That's a tongue, Byakuya. That's a tongue twister. Basically, the people who were actually in space were Senku's dad, Byakuya Ishigami, and then they established the Ishigami village where Ruri and her sister and everybody else that they met actually lives. Fact number 8, one of the craziest things about petrification is that you don't need to eat and sleep anymore. And on top of that, you also don't age at all. Fact number 9, when Tsukasa murders and breaks one of the stone statues, it turns out that the statues are stone inside when they're petrified. Which means that when you're depetrified, it happens from the inside out and a rejuvenation of molecules at some level occurs because the cells are being brought back to life in a way from being stone. And what we can also assume is that even though everything in the body turns to stone, that the brain stays intact and that the brain is the one thing that doesn't turn to stone and only the body. Weird, right? Fact number 10, that when you're petrified, even your eyes get petrified. Because if you recall, like the memories of Senku in petrified mode, petrified mode, that's what it is officially. When Senku is in this petrified mode, when he recalls his thoughts in that mode, you can see that all he sees is darkness, which means even the eyes get petrified. You don't see anything. And fact number 11, which is a crazy fact and really important for us to look at. Ready? Energy consumption. It takes 2 trillion joules, as mentioned in the anime and deduced by Senku, to stay alive during the petrification, for himself at least. That's how much energy it took. So Senku concludes that something from the stone must be consumed in order to have the brain function still ongoing, because of something called the law of conservation of energy. And it's basically that energy can never be created from nothing. It can only be transferred from one form to another. And this was one of the laws for mine stuff. If you guys don't know, don't worry, I didn't know either. I don't know shit. Okay, I don't know anything. Now, given the fact that the petrification process has so many, not downsides, but benefits, in accordance with healing and rejuvenation, it makes you think, right? It makes you ask questions. Like, was this something that was really an accident or purposely done? Was it from the beginning not intended to kill people? And was the intention to have people awaken at some point? And was this all done to reset and restart society? First of all, I don't want to be in that goddamn world, okay? I love my life. You guys love your life? No? Okay, if you don't, shoot me a message. But if you do, god damn it, give me a subscribe. I'm just kidding. Okay, so here's some more possible deductions we can make. Ready? Boom. There was no real sound associated with the petrification process. That's number 1. Number 2, there hasn't been any mention of machines or anything of that sort. Now here's the crazy thing. Coincidentally, another reason why the petrification is a positive process in a way is because, ironically, people after being petrified do not get weaker, which is odd because when we were actually in a state of hibernation, like for animals, or even humans when we get bedridden or we go into space, our muscles actually atrophy. Atrophy meaning like get smaller, basically. We get weaker. And that is not a side effect that comes from this petrification process, which is sick. Now, I know I said earlier I didn't want to be petrified, but it's making me want to think. I got a few injuries. My knee hurts sometimes. Maybe I need a little bit of petrification, you know what I'm saying? Just in a particular area. Just petrify a little bit of me. Not everything. Okay, I like a lot of this. Just a little bit. Yeah? Now, here's another question. Do we really know if the matter we become from the petrification is actually stone? Or what if it just looks like stone and is material and it's not even stone, but it just looks like stone? You know what I'm saying? All right, so now here's the theory that I've discovered right now by doing a lot of research, because I love you guys and I love Dr. Stone, but I love you guys and Dr. Stone, of course, and you guys. By doing a lot of research, I went to Reddit, I went to Google, I went to YouTube videos, and I basically just compiled all this information from all these places. And the theory we have so far is that the petrification is not a light, but a virus. A virus that is emitting green light. So basically, that someone releases a virus, a microbial germ that makes people reduce their metabolism artificially through an external factor of some sort, like a radio broadcast, where the virus travels through waves, and while it travels and affects people, it emits a green light, which to human eyes seems like a flash. You're gonna be like, hey, how could that even be possible, Ernie? Well, let Ernie tell you why. Here's why. One word: cryptobiosis. You're like, what's that? Cryptobiosis is a physiological state in which metabolic activity is reduced to an undetectable level without disappearing altogether, okay? So your metabolism basically goes down extremely low, right, for you to survive without disappearing altogether. And this is something that is known to already happen with plants and animals who've adapted to survive really extreme conditions. So basically, microscopic organisms do this. They're able to suspend and reduce their metabolism to a point and levels less than 0.01% of our original metabolism. 0.01. So right now I'm at 100%. Imagine me being 0.01. Actually, I'm probably at like 10% right now. I go pretty wild, guys. That's not even news to me. But imagine like 100% to 0.01, not even 1%. A microscopic organism that does this is called a tardigrade, also called water bears. That's right, water bears. Now, these cute little moss piglets are microscopic animals, but they're basically like indestructible. If there's Superman on Earth, it's tardigrade. These guys are killing it. Here's why. Given the fact that they can even survive in outer space, bruh. They can survive in outer space. Are you kidding me? Give me this power. The reason they can do this is because they can and have the ability to reduce their metabolism to 0.01% of what they normally used to survive in extreme cases of lack of water, extremely low temperatures, increased salt concentrations, and even in lack of oxygen. And now, since Dr. Stone is so wholly based on science, it is completely realistic and feasible that this is possible. But what it doesn't explain is how they still are able to heal from it, right? So some person, whoever this crazy, wild experimenter was, he experimented by spreading the virus the first day to swallows, the birds that were petrified the day before, if you remember. And then the next day, he changed it to target humans, almost as if somebody was running an experiment. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in Dr. Stone. Give me a subscribe. You know, I'm really excited to know what you guys think. Comment below and let me know what you guys think, because I'm gonna get in with you guys with discussions. On the last video, I replied back to everybody. Comment below and let me know what other anime and videos you want me to focus on as well. I'm interested to see what you guys really like. See you next time. My ninjas.